Okay, I'll give you some clues. When I'm exercising, my pulse rate is increasing. After 3 minutes, I'm resting, so my pulse rate should be going down until it's back to its usual rate. So, which graph is showing this? Well, let's have a look at those graphs. Here, the line never goes down, it keeps going up. But I exercised and then rested, so my pulse rate first increased and then went back to its usual rate. So graph A is wrong. Here, the line goes down after 3 minutes, but then it keeps going down until it touches the horizontal axis. That would mean that my pulse rate went to 0. That can't be true, otherwise I'd be dead. So graph C is wrong. In graph B, the line shows that my pulse rate is going up, which makes sense as I'm exercising. Then the line goes down. That means my pulse rate is going down, which is what we'd expect because I'm resting. And then, when I've rested for long enough, my pulse rate is back to my resting pulse rate. So graph B is right. Here's another question about microorganisms. The science team investigated mould. They had 3 identical slices of bread. They put each slice in a plastic bag in a different place in the kitchen: the bread bin, the fridge, and the freezer. Then they recorded how much mould grew after 10 days. Here's their table of results. Place: bread bin, fridge, freezer. Temperature: 14 degrees Celsius, 4 degrees Celsius, -4 degrees Celsius. Mould growth on bread after 10 days: lots of mould, a bit of mould, no mould at all. And here's the question. Describe how the amount of mould which grows depends on the temperature. Which answer's right, A, B or C?
It didn't go mouldy in the freezer because the microorganisms couldn't get in.
It's not a matter of temperature, it's a matter of time and place.
The colder the temperature, the less mould there is.
Well, to give you a clue, I decided to do an experiment myself. I used brown bread, but it works the same as white bread. This piece of bread was left in a closed plastic bag in my bread bin for 15 days. Pretty disgusting. And this piece of bread was left in my airing cupboard, which is very hot, for 15 days. Even more disgusting. So, does that help you to answer the question? Describe how the amount of mould which grows depends upon the temperature. Which answer's right? I left each of my slices of bread in a totally closed plastic bag, and the bread still went mouldy. That means that microorganisms are already in the food and are present on everything. The bread didn't go mouldy in the freezer because in the freezer the temperature's very low, so microorganisms take a long time to grow. So answer A is wrong. When I put my slice of bread in the warm airing cupboard, it got very mouldy. This is because the growth of microorganisms is related to the temperature. The warmer the temperature, the quicker they grow, unless the temperature's too hot, and then it kills the microorganisms. So answer B isn't right, because the mould growth doesn't just depend on the time you leave a piece of bread lying around or where you leave it. Temperature is very important. There's more mould on the bread left in the bread bin than on the bread left in the fridge, and less still on the bread left in the freezer. The colder the temperature, the less mould there is right. So answer C is right. Well, that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed the challenge. Don't forget, you can always look at the first Revise Wise series to find out more about what you've got to know for your test. You can also always ask your teacher to give you further explanation of the questions you didn't get right. Good luck! The next programme is about green plants. Hello and welcome to Revise Wise Challenge. This challenge is about green plants. When you learn about green plants, you learn a lot of new vocabulary like pollination, fertilisation, seed dispersal and germination. So we're going to start this challenge with a quick roundup of this vocabulary. Okay? I'll ask a question and I want you to choose A for yes and B for no and answer quickly. Okay? Let's go. First, pollination. Is this pollination? No. Is this pollination? No. Is this pollination? Yes. Pollination is when the pollen is at the top of the stigma. Bees are useful because whilst collecting flower nectar for their own uses, they collect the pollen from one flower's stamen and carry it to the stigma of another flower. Is this fertilisation? No. Is this fertilisation? Yes. Let's have a look at it again. Fertilisation is when the pollen fertilises the ovule. When the pollen reaches the ovule, the egg cell, and they join together. Is this seed dispersal? No. Is this seed dispersal? Yes. Seed dispersal is when the seeds are dispersed from the parent plants. And this, is it seed dispersal? Yes. When animals eat some fruit, they release the seeds in their droppings miles away from the parent plant. They disperse the seeds. Now, is this germination? Yes. Germination is when the seed starts to grow. Well, I hope you'll remember all the important vocabulary for green plants now. And remember, if you're still unsure, tell your teacher and do this quick roundup one more time. This question is about how plants grow. What do plants need to grow? Which answer's right? A, B or C?
If you leave plants in the dark for too long, they will die. So plants need light. They also need water and the right temperature. But different plants like different temperatures. Plants need light, water, the right temperature and also soil to feed them.
Plants need water, light and carbon dioxide from the air. But they also need nutrients and the right temperature to grow.
Have you got an answer? Well, take a look at this. It'll give you some clues. See if you've been thinking along the right lines. There are many thousand different types of plant in the world, from little grasses to enormous trees. But all flowering plants have a few things in common. They use light energy and carbon dioxide from the air to make more plant. Leaves take in carbon dioxide and light from the sun. Roots anchor the plant to the ground and allow it to take up water. They grow downwards, searching for water and nutrients. Most plants like to grow in soil because the soil contains small amounts of substances called nutrients that help the plant to keep healthy. Plants make their own food and build their own plant bodies. They make their leaves, stems, roots and flowers using water, carbon dioxide from the air and sunlight. Different plants like different temperatures. Some like the cold and some like the heat. So, what do plants need to grow? Okay, green plants need water, light and carbon dioxide to grow. They use these to make their own food. They also need nutrients to help them to grow, but not soil. They use nutrients which are often found in the soil, but if they get those nutrients from anywhere else, they don't need soil. And they are sensitive to temperature. Some plants like the cold, some plants prefer the heat. So that means that answer A is wrong, it's not complete. Answer B is wrong, green plants do not need soil. And answer C is right, green plants need water, light, carbon dioxide, nutrients and the right temperature. Well, that's it for now. I hope you've enjoyed the challenge. Don't forget you can always wind the tape back and have another go at the questions you found difficult. Good luck!